Did you know that there's a 1 in 135 chance that someone looks identical to you? Considering that, what are the odds that you meet two people that look exactly like you? Not likely, right? Well, that was the case for Robert Shafran, and the story I'm about to tell you is very unbelievable. Before we carry on with this video, make sure to like our Facebook page, subscribe to us on YouTube, and make sure to watch this video to the very end. The story of the triplets, Bobby, Eddie, and David, truly begins in 1980. Robert Shafran arrives at Sullivan Community College in New York State and is immediately greeted by strangers in a familiar manner right off the bat. But the weirdest part in this confusing scenario was that everyone was calling him Eddie. So, who is Eddie and why do people think Bobby looks like him? Confused, shocked, and overwhelmed with the strange events on his very first day of college, Bobby is given an explanation by a fellow student, Michael Domnitz, a good friend of Eddie Galland. Apparently, Bobby and Eddie were identical twins separated at birth. Shocking, right? What are the chances that Bobby would get to know about his long-lost twin on the very first day of college? Isn't that unbelievable? After finding out about his twin brother, Bobby traveled with Michael to see Eddie in Long Island later that day. When the twins finally met each other after 19 long years, they both stared at each other in shock for a few minutes. Could you imagine what that was like? It's not every day you meet your doppelganger, let alone your identical twin. Understandably, they were both shocked, but the tale doesn't end there. As amazing as this story is, their reunion is missing one last person to be truly completed. A few months later, Eddie's adoptive mother receives a phone call out of the blue. The speaker on the other side simply announces, "I think I'm the third." It was David Kellman, the final component to this uncanny trinity. David was a student of Queens College in New York City at the time. After seeing a newspaper article about long-lost identical twins Bobby and Eddie, he is left bewildered as he sees two identical faces staring back at him. He immediately contacts Eddie's adoptive mother to reach out to his siblings. And that's how twins became triplets. Reunited at last, the triplets rejoiced and got to know each other. Eventually, they realized that they had much in common. They had similar tastes, like Marlboro cigarettes, wrestling, and even the same type of women. They even started to speak in sync like the Weasley twins. They would soon become featured in newspaper articles, suddenly rising to fame and writing it out in spectacular fashion. In time, they even decided to get an apartment together. Wearing identical t-shirts and completing each other's sentences was the norm to them. They even opened a restaurant named Triplets and started rolling in the cash. However, eventually, their happy days soon came to an end. Cracks were beginning to form in the triplets' relationship, as each brother began to think that they were being sidelined by the other. Tension started to arise. In 1995, Eddie Galland, who had a strained relationship with his adopted father, was hospitalized for manic depression. Eddie's mental problems came to a head when he committed suicide by shooting himself. Saddened by the death of their brother, David and Bobby soon drifted apart and became estranged with each other. It was that same year in which Lawrence Wright, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, published an article about a disturbing psychological study, a study to which the triplets fell victim to. A research team led by U.S. psychologist Peter Neubauer, with the help of an adoption agency, split the twins and triplets like David, Bobby, and Eddie at birth and rearranged them to be adopted by parents of different socio-economic backgrounds. That's correct. The triplets weren't separated due to happenstance as they initially believed. No, they were separated deliberately as part of a rogue psychological study. David went to a working class family, Eddie to a middle class household, and Bobby to parents who were upper middle class. However, the deception doesn't end there. The research team then told the adoptive parents that their children were part of a routine childhood development study, and continued their research with no one aware of the true nature of the study. In an effort to study the impact of nature versus nurture in children, the research team forgot the humans who would be affected by their research. To further their knowledge, they willingly turned a blind eye to the plights of innocent babies. Three Identical Strangers, a 2018 documentary by Tim Waddle, depicts the harrowing impact the separation caused the triplets. It is revealed in the documentary that they are still reeling from the effects of that study. Both Bobby and David admit that they were heartbroken and angry with being subjected to such an inhumane experiment. They revealed their anger at being treated as two-dimensional figures and being referred to as subjects. Even after 40 years, the study still has a profound impact in the lives of Bobby and David. And to make matters worse, Neubauer never published the study, despite derailing countless lives. To this day, it is still kept under lock and key at Yale University. So what do you think about the story of identical triplets? Do you find it interesting, sad, harrowing, tragic? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. For more stories like this, remember to like this post, share it, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. My name is King Percival, and remember, it might sound unbelievable, but it's true.